This is gonna change your life. Phantom Grappler here. I want to show y'all my new tarp setup. First, I want to thank Dutch for making this tarp. It's got a bonded seam up at the top that does not leak, and it's got internal pole mods. And the internal pole mods have enabled me to set this tarp up without any stakes whatsoever. See this here? I'm looking for stakes, looking for anything hanging down. There's nothing, well, there's a string hanging down. There's no stakes under here whatsoever, not on the ends. There's no stakes here, no stakes anywhere. And you can see this tarp, Dutch has made this tarp. Well, I asked him to put extra snaps on there. He can put no snaps, or he can put 3 snaps, or he can do these. By not having any stakes, I don't lose any stakes. I don't buy any stakes. No stakes get ripped out in the wind. I'm not hunting around after sticking one of those little ultralight stakes down in the ground. I'm not hunting around for a log or a rock to set on top of the line to keep the stake from getting pulled out of the ground. I don't bend stakes. I don't drive stakes into roots. And I don't pack up dirty stakes in my pack when I've got to go in a hurry. And so, no stakes. There's one other thing that this enables me to do. There is no lines going out on the ground other than these ones that go directly to the tree. And ordinarily, somebody walking through your campsite at a group hang is not going to walk this way because they can see that the hammock's there and the tarp's there. And so you don't have lines going from here to this tree over here, or from here over to this tree over here, and so on. And you don't have lines coming out down here, down to a stake, lines going here to a stake, and you or me or a kid or one of your friends is going to be walking by and trip on it. In here, now Dutch does make a tarp like this with the option of a side door entry. But I don't use a side door entry. If it's raining, I shake it off like that, and then I just go up under there. Hey, porch mode. And you'll notice that there's no need, in this setup, there's no need to put a hiking pole under your tarp for porch mode. A hiking pole or a stick, there's no need for it. This is porch mode, no hiking pole needed. Set up like this, in party mode with both porches open, it's not a very stable setup. It's for no wind and low wind and no rain. Earlier when we shot this video, this line was not here. This line was not here. And the same on the other end. There was not a line on that end. So what happened was a bunch of us hammock campers went up to Grayson Highlands and hammock camped with Hickory and Shug and Need to Know Callahan and a lot of hammock people. But only about 9 of us showed up because of the fierce storm that came, and it stopped. When Helene came through, it made the landslides 4 foot deep on the road, across the road 4 feet deep with rocks and mud and trees. And on the other part of the road that was leading the other way out of camp, there were up to 100 trees blocking the road. And I saw the weather report, and the weather forecast said 60 to 100 mile-an-hour wind gusts. Well, my brainstorm failed. And one of the reasons it failed is because there's no stakes here at all. If you had a stake here, right here, into the ground, it was a real sturdy stake, then this could not do this because the stake would keep this from moving. But I don't have that. The whole purpose of this was to have no stakes. And so I have since added this one line here, and all it is this hardware is connected with a little knot, and this goes over to the tree at about shoe height. Now, hopefully this new item that I added on, this new string I added on, will keep the tarp from swinging back and forth. What happened last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, was we actually did have wind gusts between 60 and 100 miles an hour. And one of these poles popped out, came loose. It bent in far enough, and then it popped out. And when it popped out, I wasn't there. I was up at the pavilion drinking coffee. And Shug and Need to Know Callahan came and rescued my tarp. The reason it popped out, I think, was a limb fell on the tarp at the same time the wind was blowing around. But anyway, a limb had fallen, but it didn't poke a hole in the tarp. And Shug and Hickory saved my tarp from sure demise. They removed the other pole, and my hammock was soaked. My both top quilt and bottom quilts were soaked. I ended up having to sleep in the bunkhouse that night. So this is really more of a toy than anything else, but I'm going to continue using it and hope that I won't be caught in 60 to 100 mile an hour wind gusts. The good thing about it is that it's easily adjustable. I can just take this 6-wrap prusik with come along and adjust it. I can adjust that in and out. I can untie these. I can untie them like this. I can just take, now this has got a daisy chain on it. You can see where I've tied a Siberian hitch, and I usually put about six links of daisy chain in there. Some people say that you're crazy if you do that, but I prefer the word eccentric. However, with all the hard things that have gone on in my life, I've not given up, and I've decided to become a master of my own destiny and captain of my own ship. And with that in mind, I'm much stronger than the average weakling, the average weak person out there. And I know you're watching on your phone right now when you should be doing something else. I have quit drinking coffee. I have quit drinking coffee 100%. I no longer drink coffee. I'm free of the addiction of coffee. I no longer have to drink coffee. Yeah. Cut that part out. Hey!